In the world of power, there is a fundamental truth that most people fail to understand. Respect is not earned through kindness or friendship, but through the ability to invoke fear. Fear commands attention, and attention breeds respect. People respect what they cannot predict, control, or understand. They respect what might harm them, and they respect the one who withholds the ability to make or break them. This is the essence of power, the ability to control outcomes without being bound by emotion. Most people seek affection, they chase approval, and they desperately try to be liked. They believe that if others like them, they will gain the respect and influence they crave. But this is a profound misunderstanding of human nature. The truth is, people don't respect you because they like you. They respect you because they understand that crossing you, disrespecting you, or underestimating you comes at a cost. That cost is not necessarily physical. It could be professional, social, or psychological. But the principle remains. People give you respect when they fear the consequences of not doing so. It is time to stop trying to fit in, to stop desperately seeking people's approval, and to start realizing that the only way to truly be respected is by detaching yourself from the need for affection. The moment you stop seeking validation, you stop being vulnerable to manipulation. You become untouchable. Your power comes from the absence of need, and that absence of need is what breeds respect. Think about those who exude power, leaders, rulers, those who have the ability to change the course of events with a word or gesture. They are not the ones who try to win others over with warmth and charm. They are not the ones who apologize or make excuses for their behavior. Instead, they create boundaries, they establish standards, and above all, they make it clear that their respect is not something given freely. It must be earned. This detachment from emotional dependence is the first step in becoming a figure who commands respect without being liked. Detachment is not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about taking full control over your emotions, ensuring that your interactions are not driven by the pursuit of affection, but by strategic thinking. Detachment is about recognizing that your value is not determined by others' feelings toward you. When you no longer care whether people like you, you automatically place yourself in a position of power. You become someone who is above petty emotions, and that is what garners respect. Affection is a tool for manipulation. It is used to get others to do what you want, but it's a double-edged sword. While it might work temporarily, it will never give you the kind of lasting respect you need to dominate. The moment people sense that you need affection or validation, they sense your vulnerability, and vulnerability is a weakness that will be exploited. It is no different from a predator sensing fear in its prey. The moment you let others know that you crave their approval is the moment you lose your position of power. You become predictable. You become an object to be used, not a force to be reckoned with. So, how do you begin to detach from the need for affection? The first step is to recognize the cost of seeking approval. When you seek approval, you make yourself dependent on others. You give them power over you. This power dynamic is unstable at best and dangerous at worst. To shift the balance of power, you must remove the emotional tether that binds you to others' opinions. If you walk into a room knowing that their opinion of you doesn't matter, that you won't change your behavior or your stance based on what they think, you immediately establish authority. This is the essence of detachment. It's the act of stepping away from others' emotional influence and recognizing that their judgment is irrelevant to your own sense of value. You must believe with complete certainty that you do not need their approval. It's the practice of standing firm in your own beliefs and knowing that you are the one who sets the terms of engagement. When you become unshakable in your self-worth, you stop trying to prove anything to anyone. There is an undeniable allure to this type of detachment. People will respect you because they can't figure you out. They don't know what you want, how you think, or how you will respond. You become a force of nature, one whose actions are deliberate, calculated, and entirely unpredictable. And unpredictability is one of the most powerful weapons in the arsenal of someone who wishes to be respected, but not liked. The moment you detach yourself from the need for affection, you stop being predictable. You stop being the nice guy or the person others can easily manipulate. Instead, you become a mystery. You become a figure who can change the direction of events at will. someone who is not bound by the usual emotional constraints. Your actions become powerful because they come from a place of self-control, not from a place of need. To understand the power of detachment fully, consider a leader or ruler who is respected and feared. Their power doesn't come from their kindness or the affection of others. It comes from their ability to control their emotion and maintain their distance from the emotional manipulation of others. They are not swayed by the feelings of those around them. They are not dependent on others to validate their worth. Instead, they demand respect through the sheer force of their presence, their decisions, and their ability to make others see them as a force to be reckoned with. You must adopt the same mindset. Stop caring whether people like you. Stop measuring your worth by their opinions. Understand that your value is not up for negotiation. When you stop needing affection, when you stop depending on others to feel validated, you gain control over the most important asset, yourself. And it is from this position of self-mastery that true respect will flow toward you. Remember, detachment is the key to respect. It is the foundation upon which all other strategies of power are built. When you stop chasing affection, you create a void that commands attention. And in that void, people will fear you, fear your indifference, fear your unpredictability, and above all, fear the consequences of crossing you. So let go of the need to be liked. Embrace detachment, and let respect come to you. They will never forget you, not because you were pleasant, but because you made an indelible mark on their psyche. Presence is the ultimate power tool. It's the quiet force that demands attention without saying a word. You may not realize it, but every room you enter, every person you engage with, you leave a trace, a presence that either commands respect or fades into obscurity. True power lies not in what you do, but in how you make others feel when you are present. When you walk into a room, does the energy shift? Do heads turn? Are people subtly aware of your every movement, even if you say nothing? If your presence doesn't leave an impact, you're doing something wrong. A person who has mastered presence knows how to control the energy in a room and shape it to their advantage. Presence is not about volume or forceful gestures. It's about commanding the space with your aura, making sure that others take note and that they don't forget you. Presence is power because it doesn't need to be explained. It speaks for itself. The way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you speak, all of it forms an impression on those around you. A person with presence is someone who is felt before they are seen, whose actions reverberate in the minds of others long after they leave the room. People will respect you, not because they like you, but because they can't forget you. You have burned yourself into their memory as someone worth paying attention to, someone whose presence demands acknowledgement. How do you master this art of unforgettable presence? First, you must stop trying to be liked. The moment you seek to be liked is the moment you lose the force of your presence. If you try to mold yourself to fit someone else's ideal, if you contort your personality in an attempt to gain approval, you become forgettable. You blend into the background because you've lost what makes you unique. Your authenticity is your power, and the more you try to please others, the more you dim your own light. True presence begins with self-assurance. You must exude the confidence that you don't need to chase others' approval. You are already complete. This kind of self-assurance doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from the quiet certainty that you belong in every space you occupy. When you believe that your presence alone is enough, others will begin to believe it too. They will start to take you seriously, and that seriousness will transform into respect. But respect isn't just given, it is earned. And it is earned by the impact you leave on others. In order to make your presence unforgettable, you must also be strategic in how you reveal yourself. Don't give everything away at once. Keep people intrigued. Be a mystery they are compelled to solve. The key to presence is not just being visible. It's being present in a way that others cannot ignore you. When you speak, say only what is necessary. But when you act, make sure every movement counts. Your gestures, your words, your actions. They should all serve to reinforce the idea that you are someone who deserves attention. People are drawn to what is scarce. Scarcity creates value. And when your presence becomes a rare event, people begin to place more value on it. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or become a recluse, but it does mean you must carefully manage how often you reveal yourself to others. Be unpredictable. Make your presence an event rather than a constant. When people know that your presence is a powerful thing, they will start to anticipate it and treat it with the respect it deserves. The most magnetic individuals are those who make others feel that their time and attention are valuable. They don't waste energy on meaningless conversation or insignificant relationships. They focus on making every moment count. And when they do speak, they do so with authority. Their words are deliberate, their tone is commanding, and their message is clear. People may not always like them, but they will always respect them because they leave a lasting impression. This is the power of presence, the ability to influence without saying a word, to command a room without needing to shout. When you master your presence, you no longer have to chase respect. It will come to you because people will begin to see that you are a force worth reckoning with. You must also learn the art of silence. The most powerful people in any room are often the quietest. They observe, they listen. They do not feel the need to dominate the conversation with their words because their presence speaks volumes. Silence gives you power because it creates space for others to fill. It allows you to control the tempo of the interaction and shifts the focus back onto you without you having to try. People will always wonder what you are thinking, why you are so composed, and what you will do next. And that curiosity will breed respect. To truly make your presence unforgettable, you must also understand the importance of body language. How you hold yourself speaks louder than anything you say. A person who slouches or fidgets gives the impression that they lack confidence, that they are unsure of themselves. But someone who stands tall, who walks with purpose, whose eyes never waver from the task at hand, commands attention. Your body is a tool for influencing how others perceive you. Learn to use it to convey strength, focus, and control. Every movement should reinforce your power, never detract from it. Your presence should also make others uncomfortable in a way they cannot articulate. They will respect you, not because they are drawn to you emotionally, but because they feel the weight of your power when you are near. They understand, on a subconscious level, that you are not a person to be taken lightly. You are someone who demands attention and commands respect, and it is through the sheer force of your presence that they are compelled to acknowledge you. The key to mastering presence is understanding that you are the center of every room you enter. You do not need to shout to be heard. Your energy, your self-assuredness, your unpredictability, these are the forces that will make you unforgettable. The more unforgettable you become, the more respect will follow. And when you have mastered the art of being unforgettable, respect will no longer be something you seek. It will be something you command. Predictability is the death of power. If they know what you will do, they know how to control you. Become a puzzle they can never solve, and respect will follow. Predictability is a curse. It makes you easy to manipulate, easy to control, and most importantly, easy to ignore. In a world where everyone is trying to conform, the one who remains unpredictable holds the most power. People will only respect you when they cannot figure you out, when they are uncertain of your next move, when they cannot anticipate your response. They will give you the one thing they offer only to the unpredictable: respect. Unpredictability is a weapon of dominance. It keeps people on edge. It keeps them from taking you for granted. The more they are uncertain of what you'll do, the more they must respect your power. Predictability, on the other hand, makes you a pawn in someone else's game. When others know what you will do in any given situation, they can plan their moves accordingly. They can push your buttons, manipulate you, and take control. The moment you become predictable is the moment you lose your leverage, your authority, and ultimately your respect. You must become an enigma, something people can't easily decipher. When others don't know what to expect from you, they begin to respect the mystery you embody. This unpredictability breeds a sense of caution. People start to wonder if they push you too far, if they take advantage of you in any way, what your response will be. Will you retaliate? Will you let it slide? This uncertainty creates a form of psychological tension that keeps them at bay. They respect you, not because they like you, but because they can't afford not to. One of the most powerful ways to remain unpredictable is to occasionally act in ways that defy expectations. This doesn't mean acting erratically or irresponsibly. Instead, it means making decisions that others can't easily understand. You don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you follow a predictable path. Sometimes, you might be generous when they expect you to be harsh. Other times, you may show restraint when they expect you to lash out. You can be subtle in your unpredictability, giving just enough to keep people off balance, while maintaining an air of mystery. When you're unpredictable, people start to view you as a person of power. They will watch you carefully, trying to predict your moves, but they will never quite figure you out. This creates a sense of discomfort. They don't know when they might cross a line, and that fear keeps them in check. The unpredictable person is someone who demands respect because they can never be reduced to a simple pattern. You are always one step ahead, and that unpredictability forces others to treat you with a level of caution that breeds respect. Being unpredictable isn't about being reckless. It's about controlling the flow of information and being one step ahead. Your unpredictability should always serve your strategic objectives. Every move, every decision, every interaction should be calculated, but presented in such a way that others never see your full hand. They will have to respect you because they know you are not to be trifled with, and they can never be certain of what you will do next. So, if you want to be respected, you must master the art of unpredictability. Stop following predictable patterns. Stop giving others the satisfaction of knowing what you'll do or say next. Leave them with more questions than answers, and they will respect you, not because they like you, but because they are afraid of what might happen if they underestimate you. The unknown is a powerful force. Use it to your advantage, and watch as the respect you command grows. The most powerful weapon you can wield is silence. Speak only when necessary, and when you do, let your words carry the weight of your control. Power isn't always about what you say or do. It's often about what you don't say and don't do. One of the greatest strengths you can possess is the ability to hold back, to say nothing, to withhold your emotions, and to allow silence to speak louder than any words could. This is the art of control, and it is what separates those who are respected from those who are dismissed as weak or predictable. Silence, when used correctly, can be more powerful than any action or statement. It forces others to listen to your presence and forces them to respect your authority. It shows them that you are a person who is in control, someone who doesn't need to fill the air with noise to assert dominance. Silence is a tool of power because it disrupts the flow of conversations and expectations. Most people feel uncomfortable in silence, and they rush to fill it with words, often revealing more than they intend. When you remain silent, you take control of the situation. You force others to consider their words carefully and to wonder about your thoughts. Silence allows you to maintain an air of mystery and dominance, and it leaves others wondering where they stand in relation to you. When you speak, you do so on your terms, and your words carry more weight because they are not diluted by constant chatter. Every word you utter must be measured, deliberate, and purposeful. If you speak too much, you risk losing control and undermining the power you've carefully built. In every interaction, there is power in restraint. Don't give others more than they need to know about you. People will always seek to gain insight into your motivation, your desires, your weaknesses, but you must resist the temptation to reveal yourself too openly. When you withhold your thoughts and emotions, others are left in the dark, unable to decipher your next move. This ambiguity forces them to respect you because they know that they cannot control you, and they cannot predict how you will act. Silence also forces people to respect your presence because it makes them uncomfortable. The longer you remain silent, the more they feel the need to fill the void. They will attempt to engage you, trying to extract information, to learn your thoughts, to make you react. But every time you withhold, you assert your control over the situation. People will respect you because they know you are not easily swayed or manipulated by their words. You are not desperate for attention or validation. You don't need to engage in their banter, their pleasantries, or their petty games. You hold the power to control the flow of conversation, and by exercising restraint, you show them that you are not someone to be easily moved. Restraint is not just about holding your tongue in conversation. It's about knowing when to withdraw from a situation entirely. You don't have to engage in every battle or every confrontation. Sometimes the greatest show of power is in choosing not to fight. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Your mere presence should be enough to assert your authority. When you remove yourself from a situation, it forces others to acknowledge that you are not someone who can be trifled with. It signals to them that you are above their petty dramas and beneath their trivial concerns. By disengaging, you send a powerful message that you don't need to justify your actions or explain yourself. You are above that, and that alone earns you the respect of those around you. The art of silence, when used effectively, also allows you to manipulate situations to your advantage. In conversations, you can remain silent while others expose their weaknesses or reveal information they wouldn't otherwise have shared. You control the flow of interaction, and through silence, you manipulate the narrative. Respect is not something you earn by being available. It's earned by being rare. When people see you as a limited resource, they will fight for your time, your attention, and your favor. People respect those they cannot have. In a world filled with the desperate desire for connection and attention, the most powerful thing you can do is make yourself scarce. The more people have access to you, the less they will value you. When they have too much of you, they stop fearing you and start taking you for granted. But when you make yourself rare, when you become someone whose time is a commodity, people will begin to recognize your value. The more they fight to get to you, the more respect they will have for you. Exclusivity is not just about physical presence. It's a mindset. It's about controlling access to your time, your attention, and your energy. Those who are always available, always eager to please, and always seeking to connect are seen as weak, as desperate for validation. They are easy to manipulate and control, but the person who holds themselves back, who chooses when to engage and when to withdraw, commands a different kind of respect. This person is valued not because they give so much, but because they choose when and to whom they give. You must become a scarce resource in the eyes of others. This scarcity, however, is not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about valuing your time so highly that others cannot afford to waste it. You must be strategic in who you give your attention to. Don't hand out your time like candy. Keep it to yourself and make others work for it. When people know they can't have you whenever they want, they will begin to place more importance on your presence. This works in all areas of life, business, relationships, even friendships. Those who are always there, always answering calls, always showing up at every event, soon become overlooked and forgotten. It's only when they withdraw, when they become hard to reach, that their value is recognized. Creating this sense of rarity requires you to be strategic in your availability. Don't respond to every message immediately. Don't show up to every gathering. Don't make yourself the first person people can rely on to show up or help them. Instead, leave them wondering when you'll be around next. When you do choose to engage, do so with purpose and power. Make every interaction with you feel like a privilege, not a right. Let people know that your time is precious, and the more they have to work for it, the more respect they will develop for you. People are naturally drawn to what they can't have. Humans are hardwired to desire the unattainable. When you make yourself rare, you become something they want but can't easily get. It creates a sense of longing, a sense of pursuit. The more someone has to work to earn your time or attention, the more they will value you. And in turn, the more they value you, the more they will respect you. The person who is rare commands respect, not because they are liked, but because they are needed. People crave access to what they can't have, and the person who controls access becomes the person who is respected. This is not about being difficult or playing games. This is about understanding the fundamental law of value. Scarcity creates demand. The more you limit your availability, the more people will respect you. And when people respect you, they fear you in a way that makes them tread carefully. They will think twice before challenging you because they know they can't replace you. And that fear of loss is what ultimately earns you the greatest form of respect, the kind that cannot be taken away. In the end, the secret to gaining respect without being liked is simple. Make yourself rare. The more scarce you become, the more people will want to earn your attention and favor. And as they fight for it, they will come to understand one undeniable truth. Your respect is a privilege, not a right.